Hey guys, so I realized that I didn't really do an introduction to the following video that I filmed. It's a vlog that I filmed. So I just wanted to pop it in here real quick. So this vlog is a really fun vlog. My mom discovered that there is an alpaca farm just outside of London, Ontario, and you can go and take the alpacas for a walk and you get to feed them and interact with them and that. So here is going to be the footage from our June 26th trip to the S.A.M.M.Y Alpaca Farm and Fiber Studio. Unfortunately, as I was looking at my footage afterwards, unfortunately, it was an extremely windy day when we went. And so a lot of the audio did not come out. Like, a lot of times the wind was so bad blowing in my camera microphone that you could not hear what we were saying. You could not hear what the farmer was saying. So I will try to put some subtitles in if it's a little tricky to hear. But unfortunately, for the most part, I think I'm going to have to basically cut the majority of the audio. I'll just leave in the bits that you really can hear. But everything else, I'm probably going to have to take out the audio and just replace it with some music. Also going to put a slideshow of photos at the end, so stay around for that. And then after that, either after the slideshow or before the slideshow, I am also going to come back and kind of do like a little summary of our visit so that I could try to explain some of the things that we learned that unfortunately did not come through on the video due to the crazy wind. Enjoy the footage. I'll check back at the end of the video footage and give you a wrap up.
Layla is the one that's due any day now, so we're hoping for a little baby llama. So we'll go over.
Which one is pregnant?
The one that's behind baby Bella, so fluffy llama. She's just walking to the right.
Oh, back there by the tree?
Yeah, that's Layla.
Oh.
Yeah, we can go up here and kind of take a look before we go inside.
Look at you.
Hello.
Our baby Bellas. This is Bella's mom, Kate.
Oh my
and
God,
Kate
look
is
at the
so
llama.
beautiful. Kate has the longest eyelashes I've ever seen.
So she's a llama. That one's a llama?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
This is
Hi.
actually a good demonstration. So Laura is a full-grown llama.
Yep.
Ruby here is a small but a full-grown alpaca.
I don't know
You
whether.
can see the size difference already.
Yeah.
I'm much taller. Yep, so she's making a little shy, but you can pet her on the neck.
Oh, see.
Yeah, she wants the food. So once we feed her the food, you guys can pet her.
Yeah.
She's a
Aw.
little
Sweetheart.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sometimes they don't like the head so much. You can pet them more on the neck.
Hi.
milk, Bella? Oh. Yes? Okay, we'll.
So this is baby Bella, and she's 2 months old, and her mother passed away, so she's an orphan that they adopted.
We'll feed Bella first, and then we'll go feed the adults. So I'll show you how we feed her, and if you guys want, you can also feed her. We have our bottle. Where is she?
Oh my god.
I mean, just hold it upside down in front of her face, and then she just latches on. She does all the sucking. I just have to hold it here. I don't have to squeeze the bottle or anything. So if anyone wants to hold the bottle,
I would love to.
you're more than welcome
Yeah.
to. You just hold it upside down, right about that height.
She's so cute.
So we come out here
How many times does she get a bottle?
we come out every 2 to 3 hours with the bottle.
Am I doing it too low for you?
No, that's perfect.
Oh, it's getting all over
Yeah,
her.
that's okay. She will have a little milk mustache.
Baby.
Yeah, you can give her a little pat. You can feel how
Okay.
soft she is. So we decided not to shear her this year. She's a little bit too small for our shearing equipment, but also her fiber. If I open
Do you
it
want to
up,
try, Mom?
it's not. Well, just it's not quite so long.
It's trapped in there.
Yeah. So it's a little bit too short for
You
us
wanna
to
try,
really do
Mary?
much
Yeah.
with it. And we notice at night if it's windy or cold or rainy, she kind of shivers a little bit. So
Yeah.
we left it here. She can have an extra coat to get started for winter.
She pulls.
Yeah.
Really sucking?
Yeah.
Mm.
You prefer to go down like that, so low.
There, her neck is designed to go between the legs of the mama alpaca. And
Oh.
Okay, yeah, makes
Oh,
sense.
it looks like it's a good angle, but she's designed
To do that?
To do that. That makes sense.
That does make sense. Yeah, because I was thinking,
Yeah,
geez,
it looks like a weird angle.
it does look weird.
Yeah.
You still have a
And
lot.
her little
Do you-
lick in her lips. Want some more milk,
Do you
Bella?
mind filming me? Because all I got was
Oh,
my
I don't want to
hand.
get it all over you.
I got a couple pictures of you too, so
Did you?
yeah. So, but
That's
we'll
not
get
doing
some on
such a good job.
the record.
I'm just not used. I'm thinking this. Oh, I'm being so awkward
Yeah,
with
you can just hold it.
Here we are. We all done? She pulled away, so I guess she's done.
They produce just enough milk for their young ones, so when her mom passed away, she took all the alpaca milk with her.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
just don't
just-
produce enough that we could milk them and store it somewhere.
Yeah.
So she loves the goats. She's very curious about the males. Hey, Winston. She's like, oh. Another way to feed them is to hand feed them. You can put a little bit on your palm and offer your flat palm to them. And they'll just vacuum it right off. They only have teeth on the bottom, so they'll use their upper split lip like fingers. They'll just kind of, yeah. Very sweet. She loves the food.
Okay. And can I feed her by hand too?
You can, yeah.
Really?
You can pet her.
Okay.
Yeah, llama
That's
is
Laura, right?
Laura the llama. So she also
Oh,
has
you're
teeth
gonna
only
be
on the
right
bottom.
Okay, Laura.
Straight into mine.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
She will go from person to
You
person.
want some of mine?
There you go. There you go.
Okay. Save some for others too.
Yeah. No, my lid's on.
You want all of that.
You're just a hungry little llama.
we can keep walking over
Okay.
here. We'll see if anyone else.
It wouldn't take long till I take the lid open.
She'll be there. That Laura the llama. She's on the prowl for food.
Gwen over here. She's the
That's
white one with
funny.
the freckles. Gwen. Some warm. When they're laying more on their belly, that's actually how they sleep. They fold their arms and legs under their belly.
Okay, so this one's in a position to sleep, and this one here is sunbathing.
It's kind of more sporadic. Like some of them, they'll go in those little dust piles over there. They'll kind of scratch their back.
So Laura over there is watching us. She is 3 years old, and this is her mom,
Right there with
who's pregnant. Due any day now.
So that's some sign that she's a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. These are the boys. They keep the boys separated from the girls until it's time to mate. Hi. And he's the alpha of the male pack.
No, so the boys, because they're a little bit more physical, more rowdy, we just feed the girls because they're much sweeter.
Yeah.
And then we have the boys
They're
that
more
we're gonna
aggressive,
walk.
I guess, right?
Not necessarily aggressive, they just kind of use their bodies and kind of push each other out of the way to get the food.
Like Laura does.
She was doing that.
Boys here, smaller boys there. This is a barn that we're going into.
That must be left on the
There's alpaca fur blowing around.
There's the store behind us. There's some of our walking boys. They're so eager to go for the walk.
really? Oh.
Hello. Hi.
Ivy. What? You want to come with me?
We're gonna pick our llamas or alpacas to walk.
They're making their noises.
Here's Rusty.
Hello, Rusty.
Hi, Rusty. Hi. And Mick.
So this one's Mick,
Mick is the first
Rusty,
one?
So we have Nick,
No, did you
Mick,
say Nick?
Nick with
Nick.
an N, Rusty,
Rusty,
and Shivas.
and Shivas.
They're just staring like, okay, where's the food at?
Oh, that's what they're looking at. Oh.
And these guys, you can pet them, you can get nice and close. They're not going to shy away like the girls are.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Really? You don't shy away at all, baby?
Nick might be a little bit more like the girls. He's only 5 years old, so he's the youngest of the bunch.
Okay.
Alright, I'll go grab the halter. Shivas is very, very sweet. So is Rusty too.
Cute.
Which one are you going to take, Mom?
I don't know. Who you taking? Doesn't
I
matter.
don't know.
Doesn't
And this long part goes
goes
behind
through here.
Yep. Here we go, Shivas. Perfect. And we're just behind his ears. And then I'll just move his head over here and you can just attach it like a belt there. And you want about 1 finger's distance of space underneath here.
1 finger? I don't know. Like, what's the first notch?
Yeah, that's probably good right there.
Where's the hole?
Yeah, perfect right there.
So that's right? Is that about right?
That's perfect,
Perfect? Oh, I didn't put it through
yeah.
the...
Yeah, if you just...
So we've got
Come here, Nick.
our leashes. Marilyn's taking Nick. He's
Backing up towards me and I don't want to.
Come here, buddy. All right. I'm going to go for a walk, buddy. I'm on the wrong side. Give you a hand over here.
I think Rusty's gorgeous.
Here you go.
I like his head of
I
hair.
love his head. It's so soft. And his big eyes.
Yeah, and he's so calm.
You are very calm. You are so cute. Yes, you are. You are really a rock star. Ooh, yeah.
So yeah, you guys feel how warm they are too.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Did you have fun, Rusty? You're such a good boy. You're a good boy. Oh, hello.
All right, so I'll come.
We have a congregation here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Just a little bit of a rumble.
All right, boys, time to go back to bed. All right, come on. Let's go back to bed. Back to bed, everyone. Back to bed. Come on. Ruben, let's go back to bed. Back to bed.
Bye.
What I might have to do is lure them with food.
Okay.
They respond best to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Go
Come
on.
on, boys, back
Here's
to
the
bed.
food.
Go on.
Go.
Which one is that? Is that Nick? Or Shivas?
Yes.
Is that
Where is
Shivas?
it? Chivas, yes.
Shivas, go
Yep,
Shivas.
that's Chivas.
Come on, buddy.
Go on.
Come here.
You're so sticky and sweaty.
Oh, okay.
These are some things that we do with their fiber once we shear them. We have some socks, we have some insoles, we have some yarn, some pillows. There's some dryer balls over there too. And
Socks.
everything except for the pillows is all natural coloring, so you kind of know who you get to wear, which is pretty cool.
Oh, neat.
Hanging out in the snow in the picture there.
If there is something we need, it's a leap of faith. step away from the comfort zone and be a little brave. So take a look around you. How far can you see? How far do you think you can run, standing on your knees? It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. It can be a bit frightening with something you don't know. You need a little enlightening. It'll make you grow. It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. Oh, it's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. Oh, if you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. I know as the daylight grows how I am supposed to feel, to make the same mistakes, to be part of something real. We walk, stay and talk, suffer love I have to steal. With blinking eyes through a bad disguise, we move on to the appeal. And the times are changing fast.
Okay guys, so I hope you really enjoyed the video from our visit. We had such a fun time. At the time that we made the booking, it was $20 per person, and you have to have a minimum of 2 people in your group to go. And the bookings that you make, they only have 3 slots per day, 3 time slots that you can choose from. And it is a fully private booking. So there's no other people there that we don't know. Like, they don't group bookings together. So because I just booked my mom, Marilyn, and myself, it was just the 3 of us, and they custom tailor the experience to you. So, you know, like if we had any issues walking too far when we took the alpacas for a walk, you know, they just said, just let us know if you're getting too hot or tired and you want to turn around and come back. But they usually have like a point where they do stop and come back, just to give the I keep wanting to say llamas or goats, but no, alpacas. They want to make sure that they can have a rest as well. It was a really hot day, but because of the wind, it didn't feel as hot as we thought it was going to, which was nice. But yeah, it was a really wonderful experience. We learned a lot. We saw a lot. And the best part was taking an actual alpaca on a walk on a leash down a country road. It was so much fun, and they are so cute. So basically, the first thing that we learned was that they separate the females from the males. So they have a big pen for the males, and they have a big pen for the females. Also, with the males, they tend to separate the younger ones from the older ones. And so they just do this for safety reasons, because a lot of times they can get in like fights with each other. And then as for the boys and girls, like there's only certain times where they would want them to mate. So they keep them apart until then. The babies that are born, they stay, I believe she said they stay with the mother for the first year, and then that's when they generally start weaning them. If they're a boy baby, they start weaning them to go into the boy area. All of the alpacas and llamas that they did have some llamas. They're all rescues, so that's really great. For example, I tried to say it on my video, but it didn't come through because of the wind, but I chose Rusty to take for a walk, and while we were on our walk, I noticed that he had a hole in his ear, so I asked about it, and she said, so he was a rescue from a farm that they don't even give them names there, they just tag them with a number, so the hole's from the tag. And I believe, if I remember correctly, she said like he was bought with a whole bunch of horses, and the place that got him only wanted the horses and they didn't want Rusty, and they were going to kill Rusty. But this farm came in, rescued him, thank goodness, because he was such a sweet alpaca. I loved his hair. It looked like a rock star hairdo, and he was so calm and so gentle and so sweet. And you know, at one point along the walk, we stopped and gave them some food that we fed out of our hands, and he was so gentle, and he was just the sweetest alpaca. So to think that like they were just gonna kill him because they didn't want him, like, it's so sad. So this place is great. They rescue the animals. They all have names. I don't even know how they get to learn all their names, because some of them look so alike, but they do, and they all have personalities, and it was great. So we got to meet 2-month-old baby Bella, and we got to feed her bottle and pet her. She was super cute, super soft. And unfortunately, again, it didn't come up on camera, but when we first approached her from outside the pen, it was before we went inside, she was making these cute little noises. She was like, eh, eh, and it was so cute. So then we went into the pen and we fed her. And then we fed some of the other llamas and alpacas to try and get them to know us and get familiar with us, so then they were comfortable with us petting them. We learned that they don't really like being petted on the head, like full on, like if you approach them like this to pet them on the head. They like the neck. We had Laura the llama, who was huge. So we learned the difference between a llama and an alpaca. Basically, a llama is taller, much taller, bigger. I noticed the llama's ears kind of curved inwards, whereas the alpacas had more pointy ears, and the alpacas were smaller. And the llamas tend to have like longer hair. They hadn't been sheared yet this season. They shear their alpacas and llamas once a year, and they really do it basically in the spring so that they're not boiling hot in the summer, because their coats are really thick and they would overheat in the summertime. So there was also a llama there that was in labor. I'm not sure if it came across on the video, but she was under a tree, and she was in labor, and they think she's ready to give birth any day now because she's kind of separated herself from the herd, and she's been sitting under that tree, and you know, she kind of rocks a bit, which they said helps get the baby in position. An interesting thing we learned was llamas and alpacas, their pregnancy lasts about 11 to 12 months, and they actually have the ability to hold it in, to hold the baby in until they want to deliver it. Apparently, if the weather is rainy or cold, they don't really want to give birth in bad weather. So they will literally hold it in until it's a sunny day, and then they'll give birth. They said they had like this stretch of really cold, rainy, wet weather one time, and it was like days on end of it. And the llama or alpaca, I don't know which one it was that at the time was pregnant, they held it all of those days, and then as soon as like sun came out the next day, boom, they had the baby. They don't like to have the babies in conditions that aren't helpful to the baby's survival. So that was interesting. Also, they tend to give birth between, I forget, it's like 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. And usually, even if they're in labor, if they haven't given birth by 3 p.m., they usually will then hold it until the next day. Because they don't want to, another thing they don't want is they don't want to give birth to their babies at night, because then they're afraid of predators going after the baby. So it was really interesting to learn that they have the ability to do that, because obviously us as humans, if the baby's coming, the baby's coming. So that was really cool and really interesting to hear. We were hoping it would have been awesome if like the baby had been born while we were there, but it didn't happen. The lady that was giving us the tour actually has witnessed, I think she said 2 or 3 births on the farm, and they usually will let alpacas labor for like up to 3 weeks, because of the fact that they can hold it until they feel that they want to give birth. But if it goes past 3 weeks, then they usually get a vet to intervene. And every year every spring when they shear the alpacas and the llamas, at the same time that they do it, they also will do things like trim their nails if they need it, or trim their teeth if they need it, and they will give them their vaccinations. So they're really well taken care of. They have tons of space to go around. They get out for walks. We also learned that when alpacas or llamas get into tiffs with each other, the females are the ones that tend to spit at each other when they get into fights, whereas the males, they don't really spit. They become more kind of physical with each other, aggressive. So that was funny to learn about. Laura the llama was a big personality. She was funny, but she was very rough and very, like, she had a big attitude. And as soon as we got the food out, she wanted all the food to herself. And it was really hard to try and give food to the other alpacas, because she would like headbutt them out of the way to get the food. And like, she just would follow you. Like, even once I ran out of food and had nothing, as I was still holding the empty container, and she would follow me, and she would be like looking at me. She was hilarious. So yeah, it was really, really interesting to learn about it. When you go, like when you book your tour, you do have the, you can do add-ons, like where you can learn how to do needle felting and stuff like that. We didn't add it on because we weren't really sure if it was an extra expense or not. But I personally, I think at some point I would love to do it again and try the add-ons. Because you can apparently make like a little felted, needle felted picture of a alpaca. But yeah, it was just so much fun. You got to, you know, really learn about them, see them up close and personal, feed them, pet them, give them a walk, take them for a walk, which was the best part to me, because you get to pick your own alpaca, and we got to put the leash on ourselves. We learned how to do that, so that was really cool. I got video of my mom putting hers on, but I couldn't get video of me. Well, I guess I could have got my mom to film me putting it on, but I was also trying to, like, you know, just enjoy it and be in the moment. So we did get the footage of my mom putting it on, and I basically did the same thing as her. And it was just really, really nice. We really had a good time. We learned a lot. Baby Bella, the 2-month-old, Baby Bella's mom passed away when she was a week old, I think it was. A week old or 2 weeks old. And so she is an orphan. So that they've adopted her, and so she's 2 months old now. And the llamas are a little bit more aggressive, so they generally don't have public taking them out on walks like we did with the alpacas, because the alpacas are a little bit easier. We had a hard time getting them from the barn to the country road because there was a big stretch of grass, and like they just kept wanting to stop and eat the grass. So we would let them eat a little bit, and then we'd kind of like give them a little tug and say, okay, let's go. And they'd walk like a few steps, and then they'd stop and eat more grass. So that was really funny. And along the way, sometimes there would be a car or a truck coming onto the country road. So we would go off to the side and let them have some grass to eat there until the car passed. And at one point, there was some little purple flowers that apparently they really like. So the lady that was our tour guide, she picked a bunch of flowers and let us hand feed them the flowers. So Rusty really liked his. I don't know if I got that on video or not, but he really liked it. Our tour was about an hour and a half. So yeah, it was really great. And then from there we drove to London because London wasn't too far from there, and we got some Dairy Queen because we were hot and we were thirsty, and so we got a drink as well. And then we slowly made our way back home into Toronto. So the drive was about a 2.5-hour drive. But it took us a little bit longer because we did stop halfway there to get some lunch. So we left ourselves, like, I would say about 3.5 hours to drive there. But it didn't take that long. It was just, we stopped for about an hour to have lunch so that we weren't starving when we got there. But yeah, it was a great day. We had lots of fun, and I hope you enjoyed coming along with us. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.